Hey guys, it's Nikki. So in today's video, hello. Yeah, I don't know like what that was. I just didn't really know what I was kind of doing, so I just spoke. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my top 5 eyeshadow palettes of all time. I did this video back in the summertime and it was highlighters. So I showed you guys like my top 5 favorite highlighters ever. But this time, I'm going to be showing you guys my top 5 favorite eyeshadow palettes ever. I absolutely love eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is like one of my favorite things besides highlighters and lippies. Eyeshadow palettes are where it's at. I am not a single shadow person. If I do buy single shadows, I usually will put them in like a Z palette or some sort of magnetic palette that I can make them into a palette. If it's like liquid shadows or glitters, that's a little bit different. Those, because you can always kind of incorporate that with eyeshadows. I know single shadows, you can do that too, but I just prefer to have it all in one. So I'm definitely more of a palette person than I am a single shadow person. But that doesn't mean that I won't try out single shadows. But all of the palettes I have in front of you or in front of me that I'm going to show you are like my top 5 rated eyeshadow palettes. I'm actually going to start off with number 5 and kind of go down the line from like 5th favorite to like top dog, 100% love this favorite palette. So let's go ahead and get into this video. One thing I do want to point out, none of these palettes are really drugstore. I do have some that are more like affordable, but none of these are really drugstore. All of these you can get, like they are currently available, so you can buy them. But yeah, none of these are like full-on drugstore eyeshadow palettes because to be honest with you, drugstore shadows just are not my favorite. I think high-end brands really know how to hit the nail on the head with palettes as well as Morphe. So I'm not saying all of these are Morphe. They're not all Morphe, so don't think that's what they all are. I do have a couple in there that like I love, but as far as like formulation and everything, I do think that more affordable to high-end brands know where it's at compared to other brands. Let's get into it. So starting off at number 5, we're going to talk about this little guy. This is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collab, the Vault collection, and this is Ring the Alarm. So this is what it looks like. It's just super warm and pretty. I'm not going to swatch any of these for you because we would literally be here all day, but this is just super warm and pretty. It is your definition of a warm palette. Definitely has a lot more golds in there, definitely has a lot more reds and deeper shades. My eye automatically goes to these types of colors. I love warm eyeshadows, and I especially loved the colors in here. Personally, out of the entire Vault collection, I think this one is my favorite, not only color-wise, but formulation-wise. The other, because there were 4, weren't they? Yeah, there's 4. Yeah, 4. The other ones that I have, I like them. I think they're great. I think the colors are good, but as far as actual like consistency with the formula and how they apply on the eyes, this one takes the cake for me. I used it all the time when I first got it, and I still use it all the time. I just don't really post it too much in videos because there was a lot of controversy surrounding the Vault collection, especially with the first they were inconsistent and then they had to redo them and everything. But this one is, I think, from the first batch or the second batch. I think it's from the first batch. And I didn't have any problems with this one, so I love it. I think it's really pretty, and I think that the colors in it are great. Coming at you at number 4, this is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Anastasia probably has some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes besides Morphe. And this is the Modern Renaissance palette. I use this palette a lot, and it kind of has like the same look as the Morphe Jaclyn Hill one, to be honest with you. But I feel like this one is more neutral. You can do definitely more of a neutral look with this, and you can definitely do more of a smoky, like night out, glam, warm look. You can really do anything because you have some neutral shimmers in there, as well as some neutral shades and neutral transition shades. So I loved this palette. I did not get this palette for the longest time when it first came out, and then when I got it, I've literally used it like so many times. I've used it in quite a few videos, and you can just really manipulate the colors in this palette, which I like. You can make them do different things, and you can also too really just change up your look. You know, you can stick to a lighter look, and you could add a few of these like deeper shades, and it can just really alter the appearance. So this palette is so versatile with any look, and that's what I personally love about it. I think it's so pretty, and the colors in it, the formulation is great, and that's another thing too why these are all my favorite that I'm showing you, because the formulation in all of these palettes is like top notch for me. I don't have any problems blending with any of these palettes, and out of all the Anastasia palettes I have, this one has to be my absolute favorite. Color story wise, and also too, there's just a lot of warmer colors, which again is what I'm attracted to. I love warm colors. I am not a cool tone shadow person. If there's ever eyeshadow palettes that come out that are all cool tones, I don't personally buy them because that's not what I'm attracted to. So yes, I love this palette. It's one of my favorites. I've had it for quite a few years now, and it just takes the cake for me. As you can tell, I've definitely hit pan on a few shadows, and a few of them are about ready to hit more pan. So yes, that is the Modern Renaissance palette. Beautiful palette, wonderful formulation, and I like the consistency without all the colors throughout all the colors with all the blending and everything. So yes, my third favorite, I just realized all the packaging on these palettes are like super similar. I did not plan that. But my third eyeshadow palette, I've only used, I think, 1 or 2 times on my channel, but outside of filming, I use this palette all the time. And this is by Juvia's Place, and this is a pretty like colorful palette for me. But this is the Masquerade Mini palette by Juvia's Place. I did an entire review on it when I first got it, but this is such a beautiful palette, and the formula is just top notch, man. I have never tried Juvia's Place shadows until I tried this palette, and it is so freaking pretty. I love how you have your neutrals in here, but you also have your pops of color, so you can honestly do pretty much anything with this palette. You can do more neutral, and you can add a pop of color, or you can do a full pop of color look, but then you have some of your neutrals you can add in there, and you can just make it into a full fantasy. So I love the packaging in this color as well, in this palette. Oh my god, I cannot talk today. I love the packaging on it, but these colors are just so pretty. As you can see, a lot of palettes that I love are palettes you can use day to day, because day to day I'm doing glam looks. I'm not doing like crazy rainbow James Charles looks. Nothing against James Charles, but like I don't do crazy looks like that every day. So that's why a lot of these palettes I like are a little bit more neutral. So this one's kind of like my most colorful palette, but it's super pretty, and Juvia's Place is pretty affordable. I got this at Ulta, so I would definitely check out Juvia's Place. They are pretty known for their eyeshadow palettes, but this one is gorgeous. They blend really nicely. The colors in it are really beautiful, and I love this one. I think it's super pretty. My number 2 palette, this was kind of a toss-up between number 2 and number 1, because I love both of these palettes equally. I use them so much, but number 1 takes the cake by a landslide because of just how good the palette is. But this is my number 2 favorite palette ever. This is the Morphe x Jeffree Star, and it is so freaking pretty. I know you guys have seen this before. I did an entire review on it when it came out. I've used every single shade in this palette, and it is just so beautiful. I love the colors in it. I love the mirror in it. Plus, I love how much you get. You don't get a ton of like color. Well, you do. You get a lot of pinks and purples and greens, but you get a ton of neutrals in between that you can really do anything with this palette. And that's what I love about it, is it's so versatile, and you can do something so dramatic, or you can do something just so basic, or like a really pretty glam. So yes, I love this palette. I think that it's so pretty, and I love Jeffree Star. And so I also love Morphe. So when they collabed on a palette, I really was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I mean, I knew I was gonna like it, but I wasn't expecting for it to like really be one of my top-notch palettes, especially since I got it when it first came out. So yeah, I just love all of these colors so much. I think that they are so great, and I will forever continue to use this palette. I think it's still available. You can still get it. So it wasn't like limited edition or anything. So I would recommend getting your hands on it if you have the opportunity, because it is so good. Okay, are we ready? My top number one eyeshadow palette, which if you've been watching like my videos for a long time, you would know that I went through a phase on my channel where I literally use this palette in every single video. And I still use this palette almost on a daily. It is so hard. I always go back to it. Like if I don't know what to do for my makeup, I always go back to this palette. And it is a palette. It was like my first ever like collab palette that I bought, and I bought it on the very first round, which is why the packaging looks old. They've been through a couple revamps, but here's what it is. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. This is my top favorite eyeshadow palette of all time. It is so dirty, literally so dirty. Like, let me open it up for you. This is how dirty it is. This palette's been through some shit. This palette's been through some stuff. It's traveled with me. I've hit pan on quite a few of the transition shades, and I'm gonna hit pan on a few more. Just this palette, let me tell you, I have never ever been so obsessed with a palette in my life, but this just has everything I need. It has my pops of colors when I need it. It has my neutrals when I need it. I can do something super neutral with it. I can do something so dramatic with it. I can do something smoky. I can do something romantic. This is it. Like, if I lost all of my eyeshadow palettes, or if I had to sell all of my eyeshadow palettes and I had to keep one, I would literally keep this one. This is my ride or die. It is so dirty because I need to like take a makeup wipe or something to this palette. It's so dirty, but I literally have used this every single day, basically, since I got it. And when I don't use it and I just feel like, oh man, makeup's not looking good today, should have used Jaclyn Hill, I'll honestly go in and kind of tweak it with this palette. And I know a lot of people kind of have their own like thing against Jaclyn because of like just past collaborations and stuff that's happened, and just everything with her lipsticks and everything. I know a lot of people have different opinions on Jaclyn. I love this palette. You can't disagree that she makes some pretty dang good palettes. So I think that this really takes the cake for me. This has been my favorite palette for years, since it first came out. I got it when it first came out, and this has been my favorite ever since then, and I have never put it down. You can literally, you guys can see, like, this is how like much I've used it. I use it all the freaking time, and I still use it all the time. It's still, to this day, one of my absolute favorite palettes, and it will be a palette I will forever use and cherish. I know that sounds funny, but like, you just have so much memories with makeup, and there's so much memories with this palette. I've used this palette for so much, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. I've created so many beautiful looks with it, and it's never let me down. So, and I have everything I need in here. So this has been my all-time favorite, will always be my all-time favorite, and I will forever keep using her no matter what, because I love it that much. Another quick palette I do want to shout out. This is my newest palette. This is the Anastasia x Amrezy palette. Look, you guys, I have not been using this long enough to like really put it into this category, because I just got it and I've used it quite a few times. But here's the thing. This palette is beautiful. This is a really pretty Anastasia palette. I did an entire review on it, so you guys should definitely go check it out. But I do want to give a shout out that I do love this palette. It is up there. It is up there with my palettes. But these are like my top 5 staple eyeshadow palettes I will forever, ever continue to use. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think it's kind of fun when people sit down and just share like their ultimate favorite products, because sometimes it's products that you don't really see on like camera or on YouTube, or it's products that you do see all the time. So some of them it's like a shock, and some of them it's like, oh yeah, I know. So these are like my all-time favorite eyeshadows of like literally ever as of this moment, as of like the last probably like 6 months to years. These have been like my top ride or dies, and I love them all so much. I think they are such amazing quality. The formula just does it for me. It's fantastic. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I think it's just fun where we sit down and talk about our favorites in our collections. It also made me realize how much eyeshadow palettes I actually do have and how many of them I actually don't wear. So maybe I should probably go through my makeup after this and kind of go through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Also too, don't forget to subscribe down below for new videos every week, and hit that notification bell. That way you're notified when I upload. You don't miss any video from me. And don't forget to leave any video suggestions down below. Follow my socials, that way you guys are notified when I upload a new video as well. And I always take suggestions from comments of videos you want me to make or consider on making, so definitely leave those down below if you have any, or any questions you have for me. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day or night. I love you, and I hope I will see you in my next video. I don't know where I was going with that, so bye.